this is going to go up. We know it's going to go up. That's the great thing about the Bitcoin alt season. You know, everything starts pumping, retail starts going market buy mad. So it's very forgiving when everything is up. But technically, in terms of trading, you would never buy here. You'd wait for confirmation and then you'd buy the first pullback at confluence support on the support level. That was Celestia. No problem. QANX. Well, QANX is a tricky one because again, I'm bullish on QANX. Yeah, and some people have talked to me, and I've done QANX in the past. Right now, I think I'm not 100%, but I think that we're just replicating the price behavior here. Yeah, it looks like we are. And what I was explaining to one of the people who came on my stream last time when I had a look at QANX, when you look at this volume here, what happened, this was back in January, yeah, it was really bearish, wasn't it? It was really bearish, and it just kept on making lower lows. And by here, when you look at it, the volume profile, just the volume profile of this range here, yeah, you see the point we lost the value area low. You see that? And the price started to kind of, it took out these lows. It was looking really bearish, yeah. And at this time, look, January 24, February 24, if you remember very correctly, the rest of crypto was pumping like there was no tomorrow. And here's QANX looking weak, yeah. And it did look weak. For a while it looked weak. And what actually happened was that there was enough volume put into QANX at these lows that eventually what happened was that the value area shifted. Yeah. By the time it got to there, what happened was the value area low shifted. It came lower because the volume had come in. And also by the time, and what happened was the price actually managed to get back into the value area. That was at the time when I was doing my stream, I said that's actually a sign of strength to get back into the value area. Yeah. And then the other thing that was a sign of strength was that enough volume was put into this range that the point of control, you see this red line, actually flipped to the lows. Yeah. So before it was at the highs and then it shifted to the lows. Yeah. And so what happened was that during this time, the rest of crypto was bullish. There was an accumulation happening at these lows until eventually the value area shifted lower, and eventually the point of control shifted lower. And then eventually what happened was the price got back above the point of control. After that happened, we had a mega pump. Right. So we're looking for certain things to happen first before QANX can mega pump. That's what you're thinking about, the mega pump, right? The next wave, right? So let me just kind of bring it back to context of where we are now, okay? Because that's what you're thinking about. You're thinking about, what about now? And me too, actually. So this is our current local range volume area. You can see what's happened. We've lost the value area low. Yeah, you see that? We've lost it. We're starting to put a little bit of volume in this area, a little bit, and we have a very clear invalidation. The invalidation is this low here. Why is that invalidation? Because we've had our 5-wave impulsive move, which is your wave 1, from here all the way up to there. And if we suddenly go down and take out that low, we've invalidated that move. Unfortunately, that would be it wouldn't be bearish, but it would just kind of, like I've said before, it changes your idea of the next wave. The next wave is the wave 3. So technically it should be more bullish than the wave 1. And it should really overshoot. It has to overshoot the top of the wave 1. Because if you have a 5-wave move, then the next wave, which is a 4, it can't come underneath the top of the 1, which would be there. Yeah, so you have to overshoot. You need some space for the corrective move. Otherwise, what happens is if it doesn't go all the way, if it doesn't overshoot that wave 1, then what happens is you actually fall back underneath the pivot, and that again, that also invalidates this wave one, could invalidate this wave one, because then you're falling back. I mean, it could mean that this is just a one of five and this is the whole thing is a three. There's certain things that can happen, but it would not, you know, then you'd be looking for a deeper correction in this first wave. Ideally what you want is you want a massive pump that takes us above that, and then you have a back tester. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to invalidate this first wave by making a lower low here. So I think what needs to happen now is obviously we need to see accumulation here, right? The volume is very low. Okay, so you can see here that there was a lot more volume. Here the volume is very low, and I want to see more volume. Also, someone also mentioned that there's an SR flip here on one of their charts, and I've just kind of used their SR flip, which is that white line. So at the moment it looks like there is a higher time frame, a weekly time frame SR flip in play here, and I'm just seeing what happens with that SR flip. But it does look, how many weeks were we stuck here before it pumped? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was like 5 weeks here underneath the value area low, and we're already on week 3. It is possible that we have another 2 or 3 weeks here, and then the beginning of December, if we're lucky, if Bitcoin can do its thing, we could go up. I think Bitcoin really needs to go up first, to be honest with you. And then obviously the other thing that you're thinking about is the mainnet. So I don't know what's going to happen with the mainnet, to be honest with you. I'm not really up to date. Only what I read on the Quan Telegram, the Quan platform Telegram. So I don't really know what else. You probably know more than me. Let me see if I can see anything. I strongly hope that with the launch of the mainnet, there will already be some important listings ready, as well as some external projects based on QANX already structured. I don't know. What's this? What's this guy writing? Oh, it's long. Quan. It's quite a long post. There's quite a lot of information here. I don't really know what to think, to be honest with you. What's interesting about QANX, obviously, is that it's meant to be easy to use, and also it's EVM compatible, and also it's a layer 1 which is meant to be quantum attack proof. I'm not technical, so I can't verify that, but they've got some really kind of important partnerships, which makes me think that this is legit, that they're on the right track. They've got some partner. What's this? With Juan Poles. Let me see what that's. Is there a video? Let's have a look at this. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello dear Quant Platform community, Johan Polacek, CTO and co-founder of Quant Platform here. Thank you so much for your patience for this Ask Me Anything session. Also, thank you very much for the really constructive and for devs who doesn't have anything to do with the specific language solidity. It really shows up on the B and C as well.
I mean, they really need to get me to do this because I don't know. For me, it's quite boring.
A private network, you need to anchor onto a public blockchain to make it.
The sound quality shit as well. So it's good because they're not they're techies, aren't they? They're like coders or whatever. They're not YouTube presenters or whatever. They don't. They should just do what they're good at. They shouldn't do this.
Defend against this. It will...
But anyway, at least he's doing it. You know, what is it? 5 months ago. co-founder, whatever. Let's see what their X is saying. Quantum resistant layer 1. Yeah. When's their last post? Big shout out to this month's Pillar of Quan. I can't really see any like big updates. Now, what's this one? Denmark's Geifun supercomputer is redefining quantum computing with 40 entangled qubit simulations. It's powering research in biotech energy and fault-tolerant quantum algorithms. Well, you know, what's interesting is that quantum computings are evolving exponential rate. So it's only a matter of time when a quantum computer hacks a layer 1, whether it's Dogecoin or something like that. Yeah, can you imagine? And then the spotlight will be on this layer 1, wouldn't it? And that's going to be like the birth or the enlightening moment for this project. I think up to that point, it's just mainly it's just going to be building and speculative investment, and then building and building. So I think it's like I mean, even if we lose that low, I think it's probably a good project to just keep on accumulating and investing in. You know, like just because, like no one can, like charts and technical analysis can only give you so much information. The project is bullish, isn't it, in the context of quantum computing? I think if we took out this low, it would look really bearish. But all that would happen is that you'd have to restart the count, and we haven't actually moved yet. Like this whole move, everything here is just some kind of corrective price action. Yeah, accumulative corrective price action. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's going to go to zero. All that it means is that we haven't actually moved yet. This wasn't the wave 1. You'd scrub it out. And that's only if we take out this low. I don't really want to take it out because I'd like to see a wave 3. And I'd like us to go up and hit the all-time high. Okay, why not? That's why I've bought some. Yeah. And that would be a 700 or 800% increase in value. But, you know, no one can really predict the future. And I think it's largely to do with the release of their mainnet. So that has to be on time. If we get delays on that, then I think you're probably going to get, in the context of the rest of crypto going up, you're probably going to see a little bit of a sell-off. And if they launch that and it's a success, then this is probably going to pump beyond the all-time. That's really all that there is to think about this project. We're in a little bit of an accumulation range here. Let me just update the overall volume levels as well, because I've got these kind of local ones. Let me just hide all of this now. Hide these. Let me just hide all of this data. Let me just have a look at the overall volume. This is the weekly time frame. Going to the daily time frame. This is overall. Yeah. Let me pull it here. No changes. Yeah, so there's no real changes there, and this is the post hack. Yeah, no real changes there. Can you see there's no changes to the volume? So actually, look, we're still good. We're still in the range. This is the post hack value area low, isn't it? As long as we're just consolidating and we're just range bound, that's the bottom of the range, and that will be a really good opportunity for someone to just buy a shit ton of this token if they haven't bought it already, because it's relatively illiquid. And so if you do want to buy a lot, you either have to accumulate small amounts over a longer period of time, or you just wait for the dip like this off a really nice level to buy, and you just buy a shit ton. That's when you could get an impulsive move. But ideally, like you see here, the point of control, I do want to see it come to the lows. Yeah, and until I see that, I'm not going to necessarily think we're going to the moon yet. And so that's why I've got this other, and that's why I'm just kind of reflecting on January when we had exactly the same, like it looked really, it felt really bearish here, remember? And so right now people are feeling bearish again. And actually this is probably the best time to accumulate, when people are feeling bearish. It's the opposite. Good prices. This hasn't moved. There's a lot of tokens that are moving, yeah, and this hasn't moved. So why not accumulate here? That's what I would. That's what I'm doing. I might buy some more today. I'm just looking at it now. It's a good price, huh?